What's up? We are 12 minutes late to the Crypto Harlem live stream. I'm in some kind of weird virtual Harlem experience. It is April 13th. It is Saturday. It is 1:13. Thanks for joining me. I almost didn't think I would be here. I was like, what is happening with these technical problems? But I made it, and you made it too. So appreciate you. Thanks for locking in and buckle up. It's going to be a fun little ride. Today's episode is called um, Is There a Hacktivist Inside of You? Sometimes you're like, ooh, I felt something. It's kind of weird. What is that feeling? Is it COVID? No. Did I get a black and blue? No. Is it a boo boo? No. Maybe there's a hacktivist inside of me trying to get out. And I thought it would be cool to slow down and rewind and just talk about things that you could do to unleash that hacktivist that's inside. You know, yo, 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 Jathan Penter. Yo, Jathan Penter, I've been following you on the IG. Your Insta is on fire right now. It's like really interesting takes. I really appreciate your version and view on things. So keep it going. Keep it going. Keep it flowing. You know what I'm saying? From from now till infinity. So if you don't, definitely, you sometimes you gotta start that digital ish. Sometimes you gotta I gotta censor myself because sometimes the Crypto Harlem interns be watching. So, but yeah, that's what it is. It's fire. So here's an air horn to you, J. Think Pencer. Um, doing this thing every week as a live stream requires a lot of work. It's a lot more work than just capturing myself. Um, and I'm trying to figure out like best ways to do this. And so I don't know, figuring it out 10 years in the game, still figuring it out week by week. You know what I'm saying? What brings the flavor? So remind me, everyone. Um, so yeah, we got people out here. So I just want to quickly do a roll call to the people who've tuned in. Thanks for following the Crypto Harlem live stream, or at least tuning in. If you don't follow, hit follow on whatever. I don't know what you could be on the YouTube, you could be on the X, aka Twitter, you could be on the Facebook, you could be on Twitch, which is like where I like to get down. But if you're Drapsat, Jathan Penter, Regez, H Hides, D Elixir, super moderator to the stars, air horn to D Elixir. Yeah, just like the water's fine, follow if you don't follow. And I guess I'm gonna start by just putting some music on. So if you have a genre that you like of music, sorry I don't have the really cool AI cam. I left the AI cam, I think. Maybe I have the AI cam. I should check. But yeah, I just throw a genre into the chat. Some of you listen to like it's a podcast, but if you're ready to jump in and just give me a genre of music and I'll try to find a track for you. In the meantime, I'm just gonna put on this generic background that I found. It was called The Hacker. It didn't sound like a hacker at all to me, but whatever. What do I know? I'm just, one of the best hackers in the known universe out here, spending time and energy making the world a better place with my hacktivist brethren. And let's see what we got. Super, let's see. Uh s- m- s- Long version techno. Okay. Sure. Give it to me. Ooh, this is what a hacker sounds like. I feel like it's like a commercial for a truck. This is the Cybertruck. What is taking up? This truck is bulletproof. No, it's not. Look at these memes. Wow, that's what a hacker sounds like. Okay, who would have thought? All right, I'm gonna low that down a little bit because it's a little too amped for my vibe right now. If I had like 5 Red Bulls and a cup of coffee, maybe I can match this level. But that music is on a whole nother wave. I'm not out there yet. You know what I'm saying? My vibe is here. Its vibe is amped. All right, turned up to the digital 11. So if you want to hear a different genre, just throw it in the chat. I'm happy to see different background music. And as you know, as we talk about it, like what is a hacktivist? Just a digital activist. And I'm going to be speaking on a university campus next week talking about a day in the life of a hacktivist. I thought I'd just give you like a little heads up on what that's like, this little hacktivist vibe. So, first you brush your hacktivist teeth. That's how it starts off every hacktivist day. But all seriousness, all jokes aside, hacktivists are cute. I know that's the first surprise. Wait, how are you hacking me? You still have teeth. I know, you know how to hack harder. So, but yeah, no, like you're just a digital version of a regular activist. You're a run-of-the-mill regular activist. So maybe instead of marching on the street to let your voice be heard, maybe you're in the comments, right? Maybe you're on the social media. Maybe you're making flyers and stuff like that. All kinds of things like that. But, you know, what? You can't hear me? Is it too loud? No, seriously. Sorry about that. Oh, sorry. I mean, the music's getting out of control. Or is it my mic is bad? I don't know. I got a whole different setup. I'm just like basically on the road right now. But the point I'm trying to make is everything that an someone who calls himself an activist would do, a hacktivist would do. And to me, though, it's not about being active. It's not about taking that moment and being active. It's about being organized and strategic. That's the first thing because just the very idea of being a hacktivist means that you're not out there wherever there is, if it's the streets or if it's the campaign or the polling station, you're not actually there. So there's a reason you're not there, and that reason is because you're thinking strategically, you're organizing, but you're not organizing people, you're organizing systems, your own computer systems and the systems around you. You know what I'm saying? Um, and so I thought I might talk about some things that you could do to exercise your hacktivist muscles, right? But I was also trying to think about the legal, most positive, most safe definition of hacktivist. Like I'm not talking about hacking the planet and watching it all burn. I want to talk about planting little hacktivist seeds and watching hacktivist trees bear hacktivist fruit. Just keeping it mad posy. Um, and you know, it begins by just understanding the world around you and look what's happening. And one of the easiest ways I find to do that is to listen to reporting from a place by people who are in that place, right? Um, and there's a lot of ways to do this. Um, one of them is to actually like listen to like local news internationally, right, from different parts of the world. Um, and another way is to, you know, so instead of like, as much as I love, you know, listening to news from like, a Western perspective, it's also cool to listen to news that's like, from different places, right? Different news agencies. And that the news agency has, you know, their bureau that's run by locals, right? That's what you want to look for. And so also you want to find something that's it's not too hard to fact check, you know? And so um and even if it might not be the only like paper, it might not be the paper that everyone reads. A lot of times there's like a couple different viewpoints in a country. It's good to get started. So one thing that I'm going to share with you is this very simple website that looks like it was written in 1989, and it's called newsonline.org. One World News HTML. Man, this site is so. What year is it? Um, and it just has countries and then a newspaper or news outlet in that country. So if you want to type a country into the chat, I'll see if they have it listed there. Um, but just know the world around you. Where do you get your information from? Where do you get your news from? That's what I'm interested too, right? Um, then also Wikipedia has a list of world news channels. Obviously, it's not it's not deep at all. It's like so short, and the news online list is longer than the Wikipedia list. But I'm showing you both of those, right? So yeah, Somebody throw a country in the chat, and we'll try to figure out some news from that place. Oh wait, hold on a second. I think I'm my bad. Sorry about that. Okay, hold on. How's my voice now, by the way? How's my personal volume? Is it better? My mic was low. Oh, DRC Congo, yo, Rootsman Chin. What do people know about DRC Congo? What do people know about the M23? What do people know about Rwanda? You know what I'm saying? What do people know about years of extraction? You know what I'm saying? Let's do it. Panama and Rwanda. Wow, I love it. Okay, let's do it. Okay, cool. So, um, let's see if I can find. Okay, ready? Here we go. So, if you go to newsonline.org, One World News HTML, right? Let me just go to that screen. And I go to Africa. You know, people think Africa is actually like a country. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect. You know, there's mad African nations. You know, um, and there's like over 50 countries in what we call the continent of Africa. And every country's got its own little vibe. Every country's got its own flavor. Every country has its own history. And it is where all humanity came from. So we actually should know more about it. So here in the Africa section, you just click on Africa, news by region, and then you'll have like there's All Africa, which is Pan African News, which is news from over 40 different African news organizations. All Africa, right? And we want to find stuff that's not made from like outside of Africa. We want to find stuff that's made inside Africa. So we found Pan African Newswire, which is Pan African News by Abayomi Akizwe. There's Canna Press. There's This Is Africa, a leading forum of African opinions. But then there's Algeria News Africa, which I like, okay. And then when we want to get on the country level, let's say we wanted to jump right into Rwanda, there's the New Times, which is the English language news from Rwanda, okay. And yeah, I think that's what we got here. We don't have a DRC news source here, but in the All Africa, we're gonna dig in. Okay. So first thing is you wake up, you brush your hacktivist teeth, and then you're like, you know what? This is a giant planet. I'm gonna focus on learning about one region. I'm gonna focus on learning about Panama, Rwanda, and DRC. Okay. Whoa, 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 whoa! The beat is building up. Oh, you know what's not building up? My electric in this battery. Okay. So I opened up a couple of these things, and let's see what all Africa has. So on all Africa, it has English and French version of everything. They have an article on Sudan. They have an article on Bring Back Our Girls, which it's been 10 years later. If you don't remember that campaign, um, I think it was just off of memory. I believe it was Boko Haram, but it could have been any organization, militarized organization that was active in an area. I believe it was West Africa, but I could be wrong. In my mind, I want to say Nigeria, not East Africa, not Kenya. But um, anyway, to advance their view on things, and they were like rating groups of people, schools, etc., and just kind of like pulling people in. And there was this hashtag Bring Back Our Girls, which I think was linked to like a I'm not sure where it started, but I remember in the States there was a lot of like United States political hashtag Bring Back Our Girls stuff and social media. Um, so there's that. Then we got this thing about Africa. Great if all Africa. Let me see if I can bring all Africa into by country. They have Africa World where I can. It's weird. It's all Africa, but I can't get my buy all Africa. No, I can't get my country breakdown. You know. So I would just read through here, I guess, and just kind of find it. We have Sudan, South Sudan, South Africa, just East Africa as a region. Um, yeah, that's it. We got a toilet for some reason. I don't know why I have a toilet. Um, Gambia, Gambian Parliament moved forward on bill to reverse FGM ban. 90 killed as overcrowded boat sinks in Mozambique. That's not good. All right. Here we have Rwanda, a ravaged country that bounced back. Huh. This looks like it's not timely. This looks like it's just prepackaged. Rwanda genocide, 30 years on. Hmm. Who are the nine politicians set to be honored for their anti-genocide stand? And this is in the New Times. If you, we already have open another tab. Name some of the victims of Rwandan genocide on a wall. Many people know this from the movie Hotel Rwanda. March 4th, 2019. 800 names are displayed on the memorial, which is only one of nearly 200 memorials around the country. There are 250,000 victims buried there. Wow, pretty rough. You know, um, and you know there are atrocities happening around the world every day. You know, every day. Humanity will surprise you. Good things will happen. Bad things will happen. Right. But one thing that you might want to do with your hacktivist powers, right, is you might want to learn about these key dates, understand what's going on in the region. Maybe it's something related to. Let's see what this article was written. This article from April 11th, like basically like 2 days ago, and it talks about politicians and who had a stand that was like against the genocide, right? Um, and it's just like don't forget the history of these folks, right? So you know what a hacktivist might do is they might create an online tool or application or a malware or a virus or something that protects you, and they might name it after one of these politicians or one of these causes or one of these nations just for raising awareness. back on the screen. Hey, sorry about that. That was so sad. Don't worry. I'm back. Let me just not be on here as well. That'll throw me off. Okay. Woof! Technology sucks. Bring back Matt. Bring back Matt. Don't worry, I'm here. I'm back. Ooh, I came back. I came back. Woof, that was a close one. Yeah, I was staring at the void, man. I was staring at the end of the Matrix. It was very sad. So, yeah, so basically, you get your information, you get your news, you start thinking about things. You're like, what will I do? Maybe I will write a box, right? That will amplify this news story of this one particular author of that post, right? Like, I learned that there's this news outlet called what are these guys called? The New Times, right? And maybe I'm like, you know what? The New Times has some pretty good writing, and I really like this one particular author, right? Like they have this. I mean, the Rwandan genocide is real, and the thing about it, that the lesson that we should learn is, at the time, the media and the technology that is broadcasting a commercial or singular voice or point of view, whatever, was radio. Um, and misinformation, disinformation, and the prevalence of radio really added gasoline to the fire. And there were a lot of different things that had created the Rwandan genocide, but like, it you break down the factors and you're like, how can we stop this from happening again, right? Because no one's going to say this was a good thing. It's a horrible tragedy, right? Um, and so what we want to do is we want to make sure that people understand that they have a way that they could, one, educate themselves, two, actively take a role to fight misinformation, disinformation, actively take a stand in like pushing back against false stories, also explain to people that there's never a reason for, mass murder and death of, innocent people. And in my view, all human life is innocent. You know what I'm saying? You never judge anyone by, um, I really try to like really keep it that the, but it's weird when people say like an innocent life lost or whatever. Any life lost is a tragedy because there's no coming back from there. There's no redemption. There's no 180. I try not to judge people by the worst thing they've done or the biggest mistake they made on the worst day of their life, right? Because I really believe that there's a way we could rebalance this, yes, right? But you can't rebalance anything when you're gone, right? There's no coming back from that. And so, you know, those are some things we could do. So one thing that we could do is we could see whether um, they have a social media, right, at the New Times. And I noticed here that they are on, if I go to their website, again, this is a Rwandan news source, right? It's going to get this New Times article up on our screen. Okay? So I'm like, okay, New Times. New Times has Twitter. New Times has Facebook. New Times has Instagram. New Times has LinkedIn. Okay? So there's a couple different ways that we could tackle this. One of the ways is we could do some like free pen testing and poke around at the New Times and make sure that their website is tight and locked up and secure. And if we find something that's not good, there's no bueno, we can write them an email. Hello, it's that hacker music, it's the hacker soundtrack. They can't stop me. I need more memory though. So I'm just trying to keep things. Okay. So yeah, so let's do a couple different things. One is we see that they have social media, right? So we can go to the New Times social media pages Like here's their Twitter. I'm just going to go to it in another window. Let me close some things. New time, new time, new time, new time. What do you know about the new time coming up, Rwanda? What do you know about the news from Rwanda? What do you know about the new time? Okay. So just an example of what we could do is we go over to the website. We see that they have New Time Rwanda as their Twitter. Okay. I'm going to show you what that looks like real quick. Okay. So now here I am. I'm looking at New Time Rwanda, I think. Right. And they have 495,000 followers. Okay. And they're following 430 different news sources. They have this one story about the UN Special Advisor on the Prevention of Genocide, Alice Warimu Biriku, who says the primary role of protection of any population belongs to the state. We must first ask the government of DRC its primary role of protecting its own population. Okay, that's cool. So we're talking about some real deal current situations here, you know? Again, echoes warning over risk factors for genocide, crimes against humanity. So let's say what we'll do is um, we can make a simple bot, you know. Uh, I want to like I haven't done this under X, which I know is a little trickier, but we can make a simple one, right? Like this is a very important story, and it only has one comment and it only has two likes. Even though they have a large amount of followers, they don't have a large amount of engagement. This comment here, this one only has one comment, has 5 likes, right? And even though this is just a rando on the internet, let's see what that one comment is. It says like it might be offensive. That's not good, right? And then here, I bet it's the same thing. No, I don't want to. I don't want to write a comment. I want to see the comment. May contain offensive content. Again, what? What? All right, hold on. I'm gonna look at these, but I'm not gonna share them. I'm not sure if you were seeing my X screen. I feel like it wasn't working. So 1 second. Let me just see what these comments are. Just to be an example. Oh yeah, it's just spam. Okay, so this is spam about like foreign exchange. Thanks for teaching me and guiding me through investing in foreign exchange. I got notified with the total profit, blah 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 blah. Right. So maybe one of the things I'll do as a hacktivist is go to. I'm going to share this tab. So it's not sharing it. It's not properly showing you. I'm going to try it again. Okay. So here is what the New Times social media looks like. One thing I noticed is they have a large number of followers. Okay, 495,000 followers, but they're very low engagement. There's one comment and 2 likes on this, and the 2 likes, I don't know who they're from. See if I can get that in from. And it says when I go to show the comment, it's a spam comment about like, oh, I was able to raise money, blah blah blah, right? This thing has 433 views, and I'm like, this doesn't. Why do they have the spam comment? And when I look at the next article, like post from the New Times, right? It's just like an hour ago. I see also again only one comment, only 5 likes, and it's a spam comment. Let me show you. Ooh, I actually clicked on the link. Okay, let me get in here. Show this comment. Again, it's the same comment about Forex, right? So what I'll do is I will report this. I'll report that post as spam. And in the modern day of X, not much will probably happen, but you know, I'll say that this is spam. Okay. Ugh. No, it's not privacy. No, it's not violent speech. What is going on? It's not child safety. Okay, stop moving. Stop. Stop moving. It's not no. It's not self-harm. Okay, let's try this again. Bam. Next. Thanks for helping make it better. Boom, done. Now, what I would do is I would say, listen, as much as I care about the news coming out of Rwanda, I want to make sure that this news gets amplified, it gets liked, and that they don't have any more spam about Forex trading. Okay? So maybe what I'll do is I would hypothetically, allegedly create a bot that would work, scan the New Times Rwanda, you know, um, and look for spammy content, especially if it comes from this one user, right? And then report it automatically, right? And it's harder than ever to do proper automated stuff with bots. Like I've run into all kinds of problems recently, and that's because of AI. A lot of companies have turned off their data streams because they don't want AI like ChatGPT to just drink all the information and basically be charging people for information. Yeah, thanks, Ruth Manson. Right? It was just spam. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna like the ways that I've been like the three different ways to like automate so you don't have to manually read this thing and find the spam. The first way is to use a automation web desktop automation software that will open up a browser like you just turn it on when you go to sleep. Opens up a browser, and the great thing about it is because it actually is you that you're sleeping. It's a robot version of you. It's very hard to detect. It's not very fast, but it's faster than you would be. And it will go. It will log in. It will check Twitter. It'll go to like your favorite news source if you're trying to help amplify it as an activist. It'll find the spam. It'll report the spam. All you do is like basically give it some basic logic and mouse controls, and it'll do this as if it was you sitting there. And then you can let it run and record your screen the first time just to see what it's doing when you go to bed and go to sleep, make sure it's working correctly. Tweak it as possible, and it's very hard to stop. And it'll basically be all the good deeds that you're doing as a person, but automated by a robot. That's the first thing, right? So, and if you have a Mac, there's a thing called Automator, and it's not the most fun tool to script for, but it has its own user guide, and it's surprisingly powerful. So, an example of this from Mac would be the Automator. I'll put the Mac Automator on on the screen. Okay, if it wants to be nice. Okay, come on, Mac Automator. Oh boy, this is gonna be one of those days. Hold on, I need to get all my resources back. Can somebody give me a genre because this hacker song is getting repetitive to me. You know, I mean, as amped as this action movie vibe is, I can't right now. Let me see what's using up all my memory. Uh, hmm, what what is these web worker? This web worker is using up a lot of memory. I gotta stop it. Okay. Save and quit. Get rid of it. Okay. All right. All right. Okay. So here's the automator page, right? And I'll put this in the chat, okay? So you can see this automation tool, okay? And basically, it just runs on your screen, and like if you're using there's something that comes with Windows called Power Automate, okay? And if you're a Windows user, don't be sad. Power Automate is your version of Automator, okay? And here's the book for Power Automate. And all these tools are ways that you can take a repetitive task, teach it to your system, and then it'll do that repetitive task. So it's hard when you want to have conditional logic, but not impossible, right? And this is like low code, no code. You basically just say like, do what I'm doing, if this, then that, and it's actually pretty powerful. The thing that will help you a lot when you're messing with it is if you happen to pay for AI. Um, if you're not technical, I'd recommend paying for an AI tool like, not advertising for OpenAI, but ChatGPT 4, which actually writes pretty okay code. Not perfect. It sometimes looks like it's doing what it's supposed to be doing, and it's not really doing it. Not perfect, but like if I was to say like, um, if you get stuck, there's a whole communities online, and there's AI that will help you with your automation task. So that's the first one, is use an automator. Power Automate for Windows, Automator for Mac, okay? Second way to do this, second way to teach your machine to basically have a brain and do stuff for you while you're sleeping, is to use a browser with no brain, no face, no head. That's right, it's called a headless browser. And headless browser is a script that runs, and it's running using some resources on your machine, but because it's not you, it doesn't need a visual interface. It doesn't need to show the graphics, doesn't need to show the scroll bar, doesn't need to have a location bar, because you're not there. It's just a script. So it's headless. It's a lot more efficient. So that's something I really like, is headless browsers. And my favorite headless browser is Selenium, because I'm old school, but you can find all kinds of different headless browser tools um, for automation. You can just find tons of them, you know. Um, and me personally, like I like I'm like I'm all in on Selenium, but there's a lot of these kind of like browserless browsers, what I'm saying, these headless browsers. Um, Let me try to pull a couple up for you. Let's see, the Slimmer, um, Phantom JS. Let me show you Selenium. Okay. So Selenium's like, look, you don't need all that stuff. You don't need all that browser stuff going. You don't need to use all that memory on your machine. If you're not going to be there, just make it headless. Okay. And that's what Selenium does here. Here's the Selenium automates browsing. That's it. What you do with that power is up to you, right? And it has the web driver, right, where you could create robust web-based regression automation suite of tests, right? There's the quick bug reproduction script IDE Selenium scripter, and then the Selenium grid if you want to scale by distributing and running tests on several machines. That is when you want to have an army of machines doing something for you. But right now the web driver is like more what we need for getting a script up and running that will read the site, look at all the comments. If it says show more, hit show more. Look for the word forex and then report forex or something like that, right? And if it's a like every story, just like everything, reshare and like everything. And then maybe have some random, like, that was interesting. I learned something today. Something like that, like 5,000 random statements that it can pull from 0 to 500, and they'll just like write a comment. And that way you're like actually doing some automated engagement of a positive manner. And that itself is hacktivism, you know what I'm saying? Like, so whether you're using automation, whether you're using headless browsers, those are methods that you can use to really boost the impact and voice of a tool like sorry, like social media for a news outlet that maybe doesn't have the amount of human engagement that it really deserves. Okay. Let me see what else is outside of the social side of things. It's, another thing that we could do is we could do like a kind of like a basic pen test of the site, right? So if I wanted to do a basic pen test of a site, I might um, use a technology scanner. You know what I'm saying? Like, and what they are is like just some tools that you can point um, technology profilers or technology scanners. You know, um, and so I'm going to show you a couple. My favorite is built with, so we'll start with that one, and then we'll go to Wappalizer, and then we'll look at the tech lookup tool on Hunter. Okay. Okay. Yo, come on. Sorry, I got a little bit of a slowdown. Waffleizer. Okay, here we go. Okay, so we know the name of the website is New Times. So let's go to built with. Okay, I'm going to show you what this looks like. Okay, here's built with, and it's a technology scanner or technology profiler site. We type in a website. Here's our friends at the New Times, right? And we look them up, and we can see what technology was used to build the site. And they use Google Analytics. They use Chartbeat for user stats. They use Cloudflare. They have some widgets, and I'm like, oh, interesting widgets, right? So they're using the Google Font API. They're using this accelerated mobile page thing. They have this like COVID-19 stats thing. They have this global privacy control thing. They're using, doesn't seem like anything really from a cart here. jQuery, a lot of different things listed under advertising, and that's because they have a lot of advertising. So these are probably third-party click trackers and cookie droppers. So many. Oh my goodness, out of control. Um, we see that they have a link to their social media here. We see that they have their name server running out of Amazon services. That's cool. I get it. I understand. Let let me see if I can get my detailed tech profile. You used to be able to get one of these and they would drop a cookie and an IP tracker on you. So you'd have to wait like a month or whatever. You get two a month or something. But let's see. Nope, not anymore. Now you got to pay the whole 144 a year to even see it. So let me go back. Now, I make my notes and I keep track of the stuff because I want to look for any problems with any of these things. So I want to be helpful to them. They're our friends. Okay. So next thing I do is I'll share. I'll go to Wappalizer. Basically the same kind of thing. A text scanner, text profiler. I'll put in a domain, ask for a tech lookup, see what they find. Let that cook, let that ruminate, let that, get that suck up all that flavor. You know what I'm saying? And while that's rocking, might as well go over to the Hunter and use their tech lookup tool at Hunter. Okay? And I'll put these in the chat and I'll just put in our friends their website. Okay? Do I really want to find websites that use this? No. I want to find tech on this one website. So we'll see what happens. Man, everything is going so slow today. It says memory usage for this one tab is using like 500 megs of memory. It's wild. Don't even understand how. Okay, hold on. Let me stop this. That song was just. It's like I couldn't. Not one more time with that one. So I'll jump into the chat in a second. I'm just going to change the background song. Like some people told me, like the background is going to be flavor. It's the hot flavor. You know what I'm saying? This is like a. It's not a dance floor because hackers aren't necessarily on the dance floor, but it's like a keyboard. Uh, get the keyboard credit. Get the keyboard credit. You know, this is one to rush people over to their mouse pads. Yeah. Okay, so let's do it. This one slaps harder than the Fresh Prince. Yeah, yeah. No. Okay. Let's see. Get, let me get a good one for you. Um. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. Let's see this one. All right, so let's see what we got in the chat. Rich Man Chin. It, it says if the actions aren't randomly timed or too fast for a normal human, the site may detect the bot. Yes. So if you have a bot, it's important for the bot to not be doing things in like typing 5 paragraphs in 1 millisecond because that's not human possible. Also, the sites to avoid bot-like behavior will try to like do things like have rate limits and time certain things. So when you do automate anything, it needs to be automated at a pace of like a hyper caffeinated, overexcited version of you, but not the cyberpunk version of you. Because yeah, then it won't work. So that's a very key thing to point out. Okay. Um, let's see if this ever came back with anything. Okay. So Rappalizer came back, but it wants me to sign up for free to get 50 lookups a month. Okay, which is a pretty good deal, you know. Um, build with we already saw built with, so we already saw what that is. Um, I'm coming close to like the 1 hour mark. I didn't want to go over today. Let me stop the screen. Whoa. Okay, so we're gonna continue on this little mission here. What I'm gonna do is it's like a cooking show. I'm gonna make um, I'm gonna make a two types of automated bots. I'm giving myself a lot of homework now. And then next week we'll look at those bots, and I'll try to share the code if I can get to be like as clean as possible. So to see if we can help our friends at this news site get rid of their spam problem and broadcast some of their important news. Um, please read about the Rwandan genocide. Please read about what's going on right now in Congo, DRC. Please read about what's going on in Haiti right now as well. It seems like oftentimes the general Western news cycle has room for one or two big international conflicts at a time. Sadly, there are hundreds of international conflicts at a time. And one thing that we could do as hacktivists is not just learn about it, but broadcast that information, fight disinformation with truth, and also fight spam, find vulnerabilities on the news, good news sites, try to help them so they don't get taken down. Um, and maybe I'll try to show a little bit of that second thing too next week. But I'm gonna wrap right now. Um, thanks everyone, but we're gonna continue this like actual things that we can do. I always talk about like be a hacktivist. You feel like okay, cool, that's cool, but like what does that mean exactly? Exactly. So here I'm gonna give you some examples. All right. So hope that that's helpful to you. All right. So be a cool cat like the elixir. You know what I'm saying? Look at that cat. So I'm just gonna do a quick roll call, and this is not over yet. I'm gonna like take the ingredients and put it in the oven, and next week I'll pull it out from the oven, looking all glistened and perfect. Okay, but you can see where we started, and I appreciate all your feedback, everyone. So let me see if I can get together. This is third draw thing. Thank you for being a moderator. Be elixir. Also, thanks for keeping our chat clean and letting me know when things are broken. 00 Darla. Appreciate you tuning in today. 8 hives as well. You know, like, you know, 8 row. How many eight? So many eight. So many great eights. You know. Ooh. Okay. 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 Let me see if I can get some more power over to us. Oh man. Now, Casey Mob. Don't think I wasn't gonna call your name. Donk Seven. Appreciate you. Dank Freeze. It's Dank and it ain't frozen. It's Dank Freeze. David Wysium. David Wysium. Goodbye to him for real. Okay. Grab Snap. Yo, feeling sunny man. Yo, feel sunny man. Feel funny man. Thank you. Jason Kensel, blowing up the socials, shaking it all up. Jason Kensel, appreciate you. Mark Zinks, Pusha, Regrez, Raw DC20. Ooh, okay. And Tarside. Okay. Now, one last thing we're going to talk about though. You read the news, you found an article you liked, you found a reporter you thought was good, you found a newspaper you want to support. You're going to make sure that they're safe online, make sure they don't have vulnerabilities. We're going to make a little bot to help broadcast their stuff out, right? But also, we might need some help. So another thing you want to do is you want to find hacker spaces around the world, okay? You want to find hacker spaces around the world. And then you also want to find, um, crypto parties. It's a good place because you want to find other hacktivists who are from this region to help you keep it going. You know, okay. So one of the places you can go is to hackerspaces.org, right? And hackerspaces.org has a list of different hackerspaces, not the most up to date. I think the site like copyright ended in 2022. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it has this like kind of hackerspace mailing list, right? And it also has, let's see if I can find it. It has a link to the Wikipedia hackerspaces article, right? And here we go. So here you can see like where it falls down. Obviously, this is obviously heavily used by Europeans because there's 381 hackerspaces, right? And in Africa there's 6. So you know that it's not 128 in just the northeast of the United States. Nah, that's not correct. I'll tell you that right now. I already know for a fact. But if we go in, we'll see that they have, you know, they have this one in Togo. Let's see. I don't know if it's still up. I'll visit that site. Okay. There's this one in Nigeria, the CC Hub, Co-Creation Hub, right? There's this one here, right here. Let's hit that one up real quick. Active spaces, okay. Oh, it keeps loading in the same tab. Hold on. So, and what you do is you go reach out to the hackerspace. Yeah, this one actually still has a site on it. Let's develop your business ideas. Empowering African entrepreneurs. We support entrepreneurs. Look at these entrepreneurs, right? So you go to the hackerspace and then you write them and you're like, are you familiar? They're in Cameroon. So be like, hello at activespaces.com. Are you familiar with any hackerspaces or spaces like ActiveSpace in Rwanda? And folks tend to know folks. So that's how you would be like, I want to find some other people who can help me with my little scripts and stuff, right? Um, Here's this other one. It's like this lab page. Huh. Casino, da, da, da. Then there's Co-Creation Hub, where I'm familiar with. We're an innovation center dedicated to accelerating the application of social capital and technology for economic prosperity. They're solid. So you can go to Co-Creation Hub and just hit them up and be like, yo, Co-Creation Hub, who's in Rwanda that I should know? Who's doing great activist work? You know what I'm saying? And so you can hit them up. Okay. So hacker spaces are good places to find backup, to find other folks who can help you with your awesome work. And they're all around the world. That is a Wikipedia entry about hackerspaces. And let me pull up the hackerspace hackerspace.org map for you around the world. Here's the hackerspace.org map from around the world that we were looking at earlier. Boom. Okay, happy hunting. So yeah, I mean, let me just see it. Like, look, it says that there's like in India, it has like 5, 8, 9, 10, 11 hacker spaces. That's not true. You know, Singapore, we got hacker spaces. We got in Japan, it says there's 5. Again, it's not in Asia. It's a very low count of hacker spaces. I already know hackers out there and hacker spaces out there that are not listed, but go to one and ask for the others and ask where the list of others you could be found. And it really helps you a lot when you're doing this work. So hope this is like a good primer, a good way to get your mind thinking about how to do this. Next week, we're going to continue on this project. All right. Thanks for tuning in, and I'm out. Peace. Encrypt, encrypt, encrypt. Stay safe out there.